Have you ever faced challenges that seemed impossible to overcome, only to realize that those very struggles made you stronger? The story you are about to hear will teach you a beautiful lesson about resilience and the miracle that can unfold when you refuse to give up. Follow the journey of a humble farmer and his loyal donkey, Sheru, where a moment of crisis becomes the turning point to discovering the hidden strength within. Remember, difficulties are not the end. They are sometimes the beginning of something extraordinary. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring life stories like this. Part 1. Peaceful life before the storm. In a quiet village in Rajasthan, lived a farmer named Arjun. He led a simple life with his family, working hard every day on his small plot of agricultural land. By his side was his beloved donkey, Sheru, his constant companion who helped him tirelessly on the fields. Days went by peacefully, life was steady and calm. But as time passed, Sheru grew old and weak. He could no longer carry heavy loads like before. Yet, because of their deep bond, Arjun let Sheru roam freely around the village, enjoying the last phase of his life in peace. However, no one knew that a sudden twist of fate was about to change everything, for both Arjun and Sheru. One morning, while grazing in the field, Sheru accidentally fell into a deep well. He cried out, but the well was too deep, and there was no easy way out. His desperate braying echoed through the village. People heard, but no one came, except for Arjun, the one person who truly cared for Sheru. But when he reached the well, Arjun was faced with a heartbreaking decision. Was there really a way to save Sheru, or was it already too late? Part 2. Hardship and despair. When Arjun saw Sheru trapped at the bottom of the deep well, his heart sank. He knew that the old donkey was no longer strong enough to work, but because of the deep bond and the many years they had spent together, Arjun couldn't walk away. He turned to his neighbors and begged for their help, but all efforts to rescue Sheru failed. The well was too deep, the ropes were too weak, and nothing seemed strong enough to pull the donkey out. A sense of hopelessness began to take over Arjun's mind. He looked down at Sheru, crying in misery, while all hope slowly faded. Then a painful thought entered his heart. Perhaps this was the end. With a heavy heart, Arjun made a difficult decision. He asked the villagers to start pouring soil into the well, believing it was the only way to end Sheru's suffering. As each layer of mud and dust was thrown in, Sheru continued to cry out. But then, something unexpected began to happen. Part 3. A profound lesson and the rise again. As the soil continued to fall into the well, Arjun couldn't stop thinking about Sheru, the years they worked side by side in the fields, the tired evenings when Sheru never gave up. But just when everything seemed lost, a miracle happened. With each layer of soil that landed on his back, Sheru shook it off and used it as a step to rise higher. At first, it was just a few small movements. But soon, using his own strength, Sheru began climbing up, packing the soil beneath his hooves and slowly rising toward the top. Arjun stood there in disbelief as he watched Sheru finally emerge from the deep well. His eyes filled with wonder and pride. The old donkey, once thought to be helpless and hopeless, had shown Arjun one of life's greatest lessons. Hardships are not the end. They are the turning points to something greater. Sheru didn't surrender to fate. Instead, he used the very problem that was meant to bury him, to lift himself out. And that lesson became a precious treasure, not just for Arjun, but for all of us. When life throws challenges your way, don't be afraid or give up. Use them as stepping stones to rise higher, stronger, and wiser. Part 4. A lesson in inner strength and self-reliance. When Sheru finally climbed out of the well and stood firm on the ground, a powerful shift happened in Arjun's mind. Until that moment, he had always believed that life depended heavily on the support of others, that facing challenges alone was impossible. But watching Sheru rise from the pit, he realized something profound. Life is not just about waiting for help. It's about creating your own way forward. Sheru, though old and exhausted, didn't let despair consume him. He didn't wait for someone to rescue him. Instead, he used the very difficulty, the soil being thrown on him, as a ladder to climb up. That was a strength beyond words, a great lesson in never giving up, no matter how hopeless the situation may seem. Sheru did not allow circumstances to control him, and now Arjun, once filled with despair, was feeling an entirely new energy within. He understood that every challenge in life is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. It's not the end, it's the beginning of something greater. We don't always need to wait for support from outside. Sometimes, like Sheru, we must build our own path, one step at a time. Part 5. Growth and the determination to change one's life. The greatest lesson Arjun learned from Sheru's story was that of perseverance and self-reliance. After that day, Arjun no longer viewed life through a lens of helplessness. He decided to change his entire approach, to work harder, plan each day, and never let hardships shake his spirit again. He realized that relying constantly on others without personal effort could never lead to real success. Sheru, the old donkey, had taught Arjun a lesson more valuable than any book or speech. Success doesn't come from luck or someone else's help. It comes from the will to never give up. Just like Sheru used hardship as a stepping stone, Arjun too started treating each difficulty as a lesson, a tool for progress. And from that day on, his life changed completely, not just in terms of work, but in attitude. He became someone who was resilient, focused, and unshakable in spirit. This wasn't just the story of a donkey and a farmer, it became a story of transformation. A reminder to us all that no matter how deep the pit, you have the strength to climb out, if you believe, and if you act. So, instead of giving up, Sheru the donkey found a way to save himself. He didn't sit and wait for someone else to rescue him. He used the very challenges thrown at him to rise above. This story is not just about endurance, but a powerful reminder that we must take responsibility for our own lives. Don't let problems pull you down. Use them as stepping stones to climb higher and grow stronger. Sheru's story proves that in life, you will often be tempted to quit, but those who persist and look for ways to rise will eventually succeed. Never give up. If this story has inspired you, click like, share it with someone who needs this message, and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more motivational stories that will guide you on your journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Let us continue this journey together, towards a better, stronger, and more determined version of ourselves.